Of the Australians who've died of coronavirus, 3/4 of them have been residents of aged care. That's 663 people. Aged care is the responsibility of the federal government, and the sector also has a regulator, the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission. You might think the pandemic would have motivated even greater vigilance, but out of more than 220 nursing homes where coronavirus outbreaks have been reported, only 30 have had inspections. With a closer look, here are reporter Anne Connolly and producer John Stewart.
"88-year-old Taz Mihalakopoulos remained cheerful despite having dementia and being confined to a wheelchair. When he had to move into a Melbourne nursing home last year, that didn't dent his spirit either.
He was still laughing every day. He was still joking with the nurses. He was still reaching out to other residents.
But when a worker tested positive for coronavirus last month, Taz was confined to his room. His daughter Amanda Miha set up a camera which allowed her to log in and see and talk to him at any time.
We could still connect with him and I could see that he was still happy, which was amazing. And then 6 or 7 days in to his isolation, he was bedridden.
Taz had coronavirus. Ultimately, more than half of the nursing home's 42 residents were infected. Taz's family saw him online every day.
Hi, Dad, we're here. Good work. I know it's hard. You're very tired right now, but you'll get stronger.
We would be there every mealtime to encourage him. I was there the day his oxygen level did drop and they had to get oxygen for him.
Can I stay here?
The oxygen eventually just wasn't doing enough. Monday morning at 5:30, we got a phone call. And then we had to say goodbye over Skype anyway.
8 days after testing positive, Taz Mihalakopoulos passed away. Eventually, a total of 13 residents at Blue Cross Autumndale died. There have been coronavirus outbreaks at 10 facilities owned by private operator Blue Cross. More than 280 residents and staff have been infected and 45 residents have died, making it one of the nation's deadliest COVID outbreaks. But the federal regulator, the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission, hasn't visited any of those Blue Cross homes since the crisis. In fact, 7:30 can reveal that out of all 220 aged care homes with outbreaks across the country, the Commission has visited just 30 to assess standards. The Commission has imposed sanctions against 20 aged care homes, saying there was an immediate and severe risk to residents. Yet other providers with a dozen or more deaths have escaped any penalty.
For the last 12 days, I've been living in this room in hotel quarantine back in Sydney.
Rodney Gillek is an independent consultant. He's returned from Melbourne, where he's been assisting one of the sanctioned nursing homes. Why was there action taken against some homes and not others?
The decision making is completely opaque. I can't see that there's any correlation between the number of residents that have been infected or staff that have been infected or deaths.
Rodney Gillek said the regulator should be visiting homes that have had outbreaks.
They cannot have appropriate oversight of a service unless they actually go there and see what is happening.
We have deployed a number of additional regulatory activities.
Last month, the Aged Care Royal Commission criticised the head of the Quality and Safety Commission, Janet Anderson, for failing to prepare here in light of the crisis hitting aged care overseas.
Opportunity of going through a checklist process for themselves.
How many centres did your commission visit prior to this outbreak in Victoria to check on safety, staff training and adequacy of personal protective equipment being supplied?
We have undertaken site visits across Australia on a risk basis from the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yes, but how many in Victoria?
I don't have that number in front of me.
But the ABC can reveal that out of more than 760 Victorian aged care homes, the regulator visited just 63 in the first half of this year. There's been more than 180 residents and staff infected with coronavirus in 4 nursing homes owned by aged care operator Dutagala. 92-year-old Wilhelm Gunawardner was isolated in his room after a staff member tested positive at the end of July. Wilhelm told his daughter, Sandra Morris, what was going on.
I had to go to the toilet. How long am I going to wait like this? Bring them and tell them, for Christ's sake, and you won't believe him, Sandra, what's going on.
He said he wasn't getting his meals, he wasn't getting to the toilet. No one would come near him. People would leave the trays and just go, and he was in a wheelchair, so he couldn't get to his meals.
A week later, Wilhelm had coronavirus. Eventually, 41 out of the 47 residents were infected. An emergency medical team was sent to the home, but within days, Wilhelm passed away. 16 other residents died too. In one of Wilhelm's final voicemail messages, he apologised to his daughter for upsetting her.
And he was telling me, get me out of here, get me out of here. So when he had rung the following day to say, it's all right, I'm not as not upset as I was yesterday, I'm better now, so I'm sorry.
Dutagala said it did experience workforce challenges for a short period and apologised if Mr Gunawardner missed meals and care, saying it was unacceptable. A total of 30 people have died at 4 Dutagala nursing homes, but the regulator has not visited any of them since the outbreaks, nor taken any regulatory action.
It's hard to imagine that a government body like that is just allowing Dad's aged care facility to just go on operating without any implementation that they improve their standards. I'm flabbergasted that that's happening.
7:30 requested an interview with Commissioner Janet Anderson, but was told she was unavailable. In a statement, she said site visits are only one tool in effective regulation, and it may not always be appropriate or safe to visit a service until the outbreak is over.
It is, unfortunately, tiger. We have providers that have got a long history of non-compliance, and they're able to remain in the sector. And I think that's a travesty for the entire sector, because the homes and the providers that are doing a great job are constantly blighted by those that are not.
While the families grieve, they're also aware of the thousands of others who remain isolated in nursing homes around the country.
My dad's facility, they've been locked up for like 6 weeks in their rooms, and 50% of them are infected. You don't know if you're going to die without seeing your family. It's heartbreaking, it's horrible.
You're probably left asking how this could be allowed to happen and what the government's doing to fix it. Questions we'd like to put to the Aged Care Minister, Richard Colbeck. He's not available tonight. In fact, he's declined 14 invitations to come on the program since August. We'll keep asking on your behalf. We've also extended an invite to the Health Minister, Greg Hunt, for this week.